Yes.
Learning experience.
It was a
Right?
learning experience.
Okay. Uh, Moving on to ACAUT.
Yeah.
This is something that I think thumping majority of the Naga people were behind. We all supported, the goals of what it was trying to accomplish. And how did, you were one of the founding members. So how did this all come to be? Because we've always been complaining about corruption. That has been there forever. But how did this sort of the body of ACAUT and the organization, how did it come about?
2013, in the month of May, the president of the World Chamber of Commerce, he approached the Naga Council. That time I was in the Naga Council.
Okay.
So he approached the Naga Council, and so he said the business community is in the ICU because of illegal taxation. So so we decided to form a committee. So ACAUT, Action Committee Against Unfair Taxation.
Right.
That was
The first name.
acronym,
Yes.
yes. And that was the first name, yes. So we formed that. And the committee comprised of 2 members each from all the civil society organizations and the trade bodies, the business bodies. So we were around 30 of us. So that's how we started. So so at that point of time, there were around 5, 6 underground groups. So basically, our stand was, like we'll give tax to all the underground groups, no doubt, but only once in a year. So so that's how it began. And then we met the NNCN IM, we met the NNCN Itobi group. So along the way, KK Sema started writing in the papers. So it was, it coincided. So he questioned the account as to the logic behind giving tax to all the different factions. So he said, what you should be doing is tell the factions that we will not give tax to all the different factions, but we will give tax to the different factions if they come together. So the slogan "One government, one tax"
Yes.
was coined. So I mean, credit goes to KKSMR as well, and of course, credit goes to Sir Savi as well because
He was the president that time, Naga Council.
no, he wasn't the president at the time.
Okay.
But he had when there was a function in Dimapur. I don't remember exactly where he said Naga people will give one tax to only one government.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm sure most of the Nagas know, but there are some youngsters who might not be aware of this also because it has gone from into the background now. But it was a very powerful movement. I was one who was a big supporter of it, as many Nagas were, I think. So, how did that journey change from it was like under one government, one tax? That was your main agenda.
Yes.
That was the main agenda, and then it went against. The name changed, the acronym
Yes,
changed
yes,
into
yes.
Action Committee
Ah,
against corruption
yes,
and
yes,
unevaded taxation,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So how did that move from one thing to another?
Yeah, that is a matter of. This is something which I believe, where I believe we should have analyzed things properly because at that point in time, see, all of us were, like we still are learning, of course. As somebody said, we learn from till the day we die, we learn.
Like it's a learning process,
It's a
yes.
learning process. At that point of time, we were inexperienced, the ACAUT members, and we were like, the decision making was, impulsive and things like that because we had to, firefight, taxation problems. So decisions were supposed to be taken quickly and without much analysis.
Right.
So under that pressure cookers situation, we took the decision to tackle corruption as well. Now I'll just give you the background. We went to Kehoi camp, and then we were talking about the illegal taxation issue. So one of the senior functionaries, he stood up and he questioned us. Okay, fine. You're worried about the taxation levied by the Naga political groups. But I'll tell you, we are a revolutionary government. and we will levy tax as long as we have an army, and this army is, we call this army the army, and we have to maintain this army with ration, with this and that, and salaries, whatever. So that's why we are collecting tax, and it is our inherent right. And he also said the biggest, the here when we talk about collections or illegal collections, what about the state government? Instead of questioning us, you should be questioning the state government. That's what he said. Because the state government, the politicians, and of course, sections of bureaucracy, they are, they have their hand in the pie, and it runs in thousands of crores of rupees. Shouldn't you be questioning them instead of questioning us? And that was the question thrown at us. And after coming back from the camp, we had a meeting, and then we decided that we should take out corruption as well.
Okay.
So that's how we changed the nomenclature to against corruption
Yes.
and against taxation. And in hindsight, I think it was not a good decision. Yeah.
Trying too many things at one go.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. The main purpose of.
Yeah.
Okay, so ACAUT, when did you officially leave ACAUT?
I left ACAUT in 2018,
2018.
February,
Okay,
just before elections.
okay. So, and just this is a general question because I think a lot of Nagas feel this way about, how and why did ACAUT suddenly decline? We had so much momentum going. You've also admitted that many of you were inexperienced to grasp decisions, including that one of the main ones, which was trying to tackle corruption as well. But the decline, no, I don't want to say decline, that's also not right. But, it doesn't hold that status anymore where it once had, the full, I think you could easily say like the thumping majority of Nagaland Nagas were behind this movement. So how did that sort of, I guess I have to say decline, how did it happen?
Yeah.
And what do you see a way forward for, it is still existent, right? Or
Yeah, it is
it's not
existence.
defunct, yes,
No,
yes.
it's not
Yeah.
defunct.
Mhm.
Yes.
So,
See, when I left the ACAUT, I did not contain the ACAUT and leave the movement.
mm,
I just want to justify my actions. And I just want to clarify to your viewers that I never contained ACAUT in any manner. I just left the movement. Okay, I submitted my resignation, and then I went away because I had my reasons, my personal reasons, and there are so many reasons. Okay, but what I did was uh, I gave my resignation to one of the co-chairmen, right? So when I gave this resignation letter, this letter I think it went viral,
oh,
something like that.
yeah.
So the press people they called me up, especially Nagaland Post and Moran Express. I think Nagaland Post. So they asked me whether I resigned. So I said yes, I resigned. I did not go to the media with my resignation letter.
Mm.
Instead, they asked me. So I said yes, I resigned. So I did not cite any reasons. I just said that I have resigned on moral grounds because at that point of time, the ACAUT was deeply involved in solution before elections.
Yes.
Remember, if you
Yes,
remember
yes.
it, right? So we were deeply involved in that. ACAUT as a group, as a movement, and then Naga civil society organizations, plus Nagaland Tribes Council, we are deeply involved in that. And we failed. We failed in our, we failed to convince the the political parties not to contest the elections. So we failed in that. So election was, so election was going to happen, and then we failed. And so I felt that I should also resign because uh, and there were so many personal issues, and then I was also kind of disillusioned. So it was, many things, striking me. So I took that, I wouldn't say opportunity, But I think that at that moment I felt that I should resign, so I resigned. So I just want to tell you, and I just want to tell all the viewers that I never contained the ACAUT movement. In fact, uh, you should be asking this question to the leaders. Why, why people are not hearing of the ACAUT movement,
Mhm.
you know,
Yes,
at
yes.
this point of time.